Well, everybody, welcome to another day of the Passy X Show. So today we're going to talk about we're going to go further on about the things about, well, let's just say the kid situation where the kids were throwing rocks. And I'm going to talk about an explanation of why it happened. So for those who didn't recall, I made a video about about kids throwing rocks at my bike, right? So then what happened is I kind of made a little bit of a little series of it, and so now I'm doing a little lecture. Alexa, no one's talking to you.
I don't know that one.
Alexa also is listening. Okay, and so the reason why I'm, always talking about these kids is that these kids have created a problem for the past years or so. Okay? And, the thing is, these kids look like they're under 12 years old, which means they're at the age where they need at least somebody watching them, make sure they're behaving. And they're not doing that. They are not telling how well their kids are when it comes to talking about when it comes down to everybody's feelings, right? So not everybody has that agreement that they need to be watched at the age of, and the fact that these kids don't know me and they are a stranger, that they are putting themselves at that position where they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. That they're not, that they don't know what it is to really be out there. And of course, I've had kids yell at me all the time. I've had, to think that they know stuff that I don't, okay? I have to say that is 100% false. Because, what happened is I was, biking this one day, and there was a kid by the curb. He was like a little kid, standing by the curb. He was just about ready to go across the street. All right, and I happen to come passing by, and as soon as I go by, he tells me, be careful next time. So then what happened was, I come back again, and the kid's throwing his arms up at me, and says, oh, be careful next time. And I said, you weren't in my lane. It's okay. And I left. Okay? The fact that that kid doesn't even know what actually means when anything's like being on the road. Because I hit a kid with my old bike. And this happened when I was about, I believe, 14 years old, I believe. And now I'm obviously smarter now, but what happened is I hit one of those kids because the kid ran out in front of my bike and I hit him, and he didn't get hit too hard. I slammed on my brakes as hard as I could, and he got tapped, got bumped into, and he fell. And he wasn't hurt or anything. Of course, the kid cried, but I was very upset because now I don't know what's going to happen. I'm 14 years old. I can't really do anything. So then what happened is I decided, well, maybe it's best. So what I did was I apologized, and I was a little bit nervous. Because that was my first accident I've ever gotten into involving another person, a complete stranger. And the fact that it ended up the way it did. Okay, and because this kid got hit, he was hit by a bike at like 5 miles an hour. Maybe. That's what I'm presuming. Like, I didn't hit him too hard, but my tire hit the side of him and he was knocked over. Alright? And I have to say, that was kind of a bad, scary thing, because I was never in an accident like that before. Yes, I've crashed bikes before. I've crashed into a ditch. I've crashed it and the stuff. But I've never actually had an accident where a stranger was struck by my bike. Alright? And because of that, I know I'm not going to let that happen again. Now, it's kind of hard to determine who's at fault, because I was paying attention, but the kid came out from a Chevy Tahoe, right in front of a Chevy Tahoe, came right out in front of me, alright? And so then what happened is the kid came right out in front of me, and I hit him, and there was nothing else I could have done, because there were these parents and neighbors. They were all standing in the street, and the street is about maybe about 8 foot wide. Yeah, it's about 8 foot wide from the ceiling down. That's how much room there is, maybe a little bit more, in the street. You have this little line in the middle that kind of divides it, but there just wasn't enough space to avoid this accident. Okay? So then that had happened. So then after that happened, I had to I apologized, and I came home, and I was rid of it. They did not say a thing about it. But the thing is that it's very scary. And I had to say that hitting a kid on the bike, it wasn't that funny. Alright, and, you know, it just happened. So, by the way, these kids, they were harassing me and stuff with throwing the rocks and the pine cones and whatever. And the kid came up and apologized, which is great. And this kid knows he's not going to mess with me, because he's like 4 foot tall. I am 5'9". Alright, you know, I'm about like maybe a foot and a half taller than him. Alright, and of course I'm growing, and so, you know, don't mess with adults. Just do not mess with adults. You know, a kid may think that they're tough against adults, but they're really not. Seriously. Okay, and you know, I have to say that these parents do not watch their kids. Because actually with one of those kids, that I think was the one that got hit by me, he was running a small little trike, right? Small little trike. It was like one of those old trikes that had the plastic tires, the plastic wheels. It was that plastic wheels, you know, those type of things. He was riding one of those things, and he almost got hit by a taxi, because one of my people I know was running a taxi, and the driver almost hit a kid, because the kid came up from the police car. All right, and the way that the man parks his police car is he parks it to where you can't even see it, to where like you cannot see around it when there's someone on the other side of the road, like right there. You can't see it. If there's a child sitting right there, you know, I can see over it, but if there's someone pressed up against it, I cannot see it. And I told that to him, and he acted like a jerk. Kind of. So, that's my lecture about that. This is not my normal videos. I'm just making regular videos. So, thank you guys for watching.